Good morning and welcome to the first of our 5 different refresher sessions for ShowBiz 4 today. The first session will be contacts and settings. Don't worry if you have to go for meetings or anything else, the session is being recorded so you can come back and see it any other time. So the first screen you can see straight away is the home screen for ShowBiz 4. So this is once you've logged into the system, this is what the first, your landing screen will be. Over at the top right hand corner, you've got the option to change your different shows. So you can select it and then you can change to your different show options. So if you've got several shows in there, you can swap between your different shows. So if you have several shows on at the same time, you can change between them while you are working one and then go to the other one. So we've got the contacts and settings. So first things first, we'll go up to the utilities. So at the top right hand corner, you've got your utilities option. This is where a lot of the setting up is handled for the different modules within the system. So today, for this first session, we'll have a look at contacts. So the first option you get is contact types, groups, occupations, countries, and salutations. A lot to say first thing in the morning. This is where you can set up your different contact types. So one of the options that you can search within the system for. You then got your contact type groups. So they are linked to your contact type. So for the top one, you've got agricultural show. So when you go to your contact type groups, first things first, you see there is the agricultural shows. And if you drop that down, you can then see all of the other contact types. And then you can add in your different groups within here. So if you want to add another group within there, so you can have like summer show, you can create that. And then you can have the option to display it. So if you want it always to be at the top, you can say 1 or 0, and then that will always be displayed at the top. And then you can say whether, if you're setting these up as a specific contact group, say if they're a judge, sponsor, steward, exhibitor, trade stand holder, or member, you can select that. And then within the system, you can, when you're searching for those different types, it will automatically search and bring these groups back. You can save that. So straight away you can see there you've got your summer show in there. And then your occupations, you can just add as many or as few of these in there as you want to. You have the option within the system to search using these as well. So you can have, you can have director. Need to learn how to type, to learn in the morning to type. And you can have as many as few, you can easily edit them and delete them as well. And then you've got your countries. You can add in what you need in here, as many or as few again as you need. And then general. Within the general option, you can then select within your contact module how the salutation is automatically created. So you can have an intelligent default, because this is one the system always refers back to, the one you use most. You've also got the option to say like Dear John, so it's the first name. You've got the dear, the salutation, the surname, and then you've also got the option of do sir, madam. So it's entirely up to you which one to use, or just go to the default one. So you can also then set up your contact fields, so you can force towns to appear in uppercase or force names to appear in proper case. You can select the options here. So especially when people are online, they might type everything lowercase. Well, the system will then, when it gets brought down from the web modules, it will then automatically correct it. And then when people are typing, sometimes people accidentally type with the capitals on. The system will then automatically correct it. You can then say how you want it to be, so it can be upper, lower, or proper. You can select that through here, all the different options, like your catalogue names, organisation. But you've also got your exceptions, so specific things. If you want for them to be ignored, they can be. You just type in there, and as you can see, there's certain things in here that will prevent them being automatically corrected. So you can add as many or as few of those into there. So if you want specific things to be in uppercase, you can type it in here, and then when you add that in uppercase within the contacts, it will save that and won't correct it. So then you've also got, under the utilities, you've got the contact case conversion, which is you can go straight to that if you want to from there rather than having to go through the other option. And then you've got your judges and stewards roles. This is where you can add all of your different judges and stewards roles within here. You can have a role and then you can have sub roles. So when you're adding your contact or your judges and stewards in the schedule, you can add them and they will automatically populate from the list. And you can see on here you've got lots of little question boxes with help adding judges and stewards. That will then automatically open the web browser and go to the wiki page that we've got for ShowBiz 4. So if you go to the contacts manager, you can then see you've got lots of different options within here to search by. So you've got your filed as name, you've got first name, last name, organisation. All of these different options is you have to search for. So if you only have a small bit of information about someone, you can just quickly find their details. So if you just have a postcode, you can then just quickly go in and search it, and then straight away you can find whoever has that postcode gets brought back. You can then reset your filters over here, so you can then search again. You've also got the option within the system, because sometimes people do add duplicate records by mistake. You can then find them within the system. The system will then filter those out for you. You can say how you want the information to be found. So if it's just like first name, last name, then the system will go through and double check, see if they can find any duplicates within the system. It might take a while depending on the size of your database, but the system will go through, find any duplicates you've got within the system, and then you can merge them together. It's a really good feature within here. So if you've got two records that are the same, you can then merge the two records together, and all of the accounts and all the history for the two records are merged together, and you just end up with the one record, which is quick and easy to do. Just cancel that one. Oh, I think I cancelled a bit too quick. You can quickly do that one again. So we'll do that. Have to come back a bit quicker this time. Yeah, so lots of stuff you can search for within the system. You've got contact ID, so every contact record in the system has a contact ID. So if you know the contact ID for that person, you can search for it within the whole system. If you don't know the contact ID, it doesn't matter. You've got lots of other areas that you can search for information. You can also search regarding the types and groups which we've set up within the system. You can search whether they are a member, standholder, entry. You can search by specific sales type. So if you've sold so many tickets, you can go back through the system, tick, say, like a specific ticket type, and then you can search it, and then that'll bring back everyone who's got that within this show. You can also search for anyone that has any accounts information. You've also got, if you've got people that have got any outstanding balances, you can quickly search for those and find those. You can look for your judges, sponsors and stewards really quickly and easily. And then you've also got your GDPR. That's the option where people want to remove their contacts from the system. You can do that. The system will then remove all the specific data that is obvious for that person and just makes the record null and void and deletes all the data out that doesn't need to be in the system. If there is an account, contact or record on there, then that will need to be kept for so many years, but then it will just keep that information, just get rid of all the other information within the system. You can also set up your different searches as well. You can do a bank search, so find people that have got bank records. So you can see straight away here that these top ones with the duplicates, you've then got to Alex Adams, and you can double check whether they've got the same address. And straight away you can see that they've got different addresses, so they're fine. But you can go through, you can find people with the same address as well. And then if you want to merge them, you can quickly and easily just click two records, and then you can merge duplicate contacts, and then that will merge the two records together quickly and easily, but keep all the data at the same time. You've also got the option to hide contacts if you want to make them obsolete, or permanently archive contacts. So if someone has unfortunately passed away, you can then archive them permanently. But if you do need to go back and find them, you can find them, but the majority of the time they're tucked away unless you actually specifically search for those archived contacts. So if we go through here, we can reset the filters and we can go through and have a look at someone's contact record. So if we go through and have a look at my one, you can then see straight away there's lots of information for this contact. You've got your name, full name, first name, last name, then you've got your salutations. You've got organisation, so if they don't have one, it doesn't have to be filled out. And they've got the filed as, this is what the system automatically defaults for you, but you can also option it. You can change it to a different way if you want it to say just like Lucinda Sharp or Miss Sharp, whatever you want it to do, you can set those out. You've got the check name, so when you do the check run, this is the name that will get created on the checks. Got the price check name there. Organisations, so this is when we created those, so straight away you can see the occupation director, so if you want to search for those you can within the system. You've then got the catalogue name, so within the system you can set whether your catalogue name within the schedule is different to your contact record. So say if you, I've got a farm and then I want the farm to be the catalogue name, I can put that in there. And then when you do entries, the system will then add the farm name to the schedule and the catalogue for when the results, so that will be shown within there. You then got the option of your postal and invoice address. If they need to be different, you can set those up differently. You've got names and your contact information, phone numbers, old school fax, mobile numbers, emails, websites, all that are in there. And then you've got the option to opt in and out of marketing, so like marketing purposes, mail, post and all that sort of stuff. And then the system, when you're running a mail merge, the system can automatically take out emails, addresses if you're not selected for marketing purposes. But the majority of people have the admin purposes ticked and not always marketing, but they've got the options there to select which ones they want to be contacted for. You've got the option to obsolete and permanently archive the contacts within there. You can copy address to clipboard, quick and easy, so if you need to put their address somewhere else, you can copy it. And then you can also save and add linked contact. So basically, if you need to create like a parent-child record, you can do that as well. So you can have if you go to the contact type, you can then create parent-child for that person. So if they got within the parent-child, if they go through and process a payment, it always goes to the parent's account because normally the parents are paying for the children. So the system will automatically put the records onto the parent account and not the child's. And then when we were setting up the contact types earlier, this is where you can see the different contact types. So when you have a select contact type down the bottom, you then get your groupings for that. So you can have like your contacts and then you've got your subtypes below. And then you've got the different types. So you say like you remember, then other information will get shown if that's there on the right hand side. Sales, this is where you can see the sales for this person, and you can also create ad hoc invoices and credit notes, and then if you want to credit an order or anything, you can do that quickly and easily within here. You've then got your accounts tab. This is where you can see all of the different transactions for that person. You can see it specifically for that one show, or you can select which other show you want to see, or you can see it for all shows. So that way you can see the full history of that contact record. If a credit or a document has been created, the row will show green on the left-hand side. This option, the details will show green. And then when you open it, there's a paper clip, which will then show that there is like an invoice or a document attached to it, and then you can open that document. If it's red, there'll be a red cross because there's no document linked to it. But that's a lot. You can do quite a lot from this screen. So if someone's made a payment, you can receive a payment onto their account by just go to the post transactions tab or the button, and this is where you can add in your receipts. So if this order hadn't been paid, you can just select it and then you can just put the receipt on for that order. Or if you need to credit it, refund it, you can do cancel credit orders, and this will automatically create the option to credit an order, credit and refund the order in one go. So if you want to credit and refund, the system will create the credit note and also put the refund payment onto the contact record. You've then got your bank account details. So if you have direct debits within your system and within your societies or anything, you can add people's bank details onto here, and say for memberships, they can then pay via direct debit. You basically put their information in here, press save, and then once they've got an order on the system, it will then go through, search for everyone who's got an order on the system, and then they'll put that into the direct debit run list. You can then process that through, but I will show you that within the accounts and the web modules setting at 12 o'clock today. So just put the information in, press save, and you can also search for people that have got bank details on the system. Notes, you can add notes to the contact record. You can have just free text notes, so basically you can type in notes in here, save them, and then you can go back in and edit them. Or you can have time-stamped notes in here. So if it's time-specific notes, you can type them in, add note, and then you cannot edit them. So, needed help with entries. You can add note, and then straight away you've got the time, date, and who put the contact or the note onto the system. This can't be changed, so that is locked in for the time that person has their contact record. It's always going to be there. So it's more like a better audit system. Whereas the ones in here, you can type in the notes and then they can just get deleted out. So they're just like mail merge bits and pieces. So yeah, so you've got those options there. You've got the audit trail. This will then show all of the transactions that have happened on the account, and any, like when the contact record was created, any memberships, trade stands, that will all show in here. You can filter it by specific show, and you can filter it by module as well. So if you just want to see memberships, apply the filter, and then they'll adjust membership specific audit trail records. You can see who's processed it as well. So it's always good to have every single person has their own contact or their own login, because then you've got a lot better auditing. Whereas if everyone uses one account, you then can't just go back and say, well, so-and-so's done this on such date. It's a lot better to have everyone to have their own specific account. You've then got roles and accommodations. This is if you want to, if someone's got a role within the system, so if they're a judge or a steward within the schedule, that will then show in here. And you can also create, if they need accommodation, you can create the add accommodation into this setting as well. So you can just quickly and easily add accommodation, and you can search for it as well. So you can then create your judges and stewards reports from within here. And you can also search within the whole of the contacts database for this information, so you can quickly find all your judges and stewards. You can say whether for a specific show. So I can go back out and I can show you that. So up on the top here, you've got your membership entries and stands. So you can do a lot of searching within the contacts records. You can find anyone who has either a member, they're a trade stand holder, or they're an event entrant. So you can say they're a trade stand holder, but they're not a member. Let's get rid of my name at that first screen. And this way you can search, right? So there's no one that is currently a stand holder but not a member. But you can always do it. You can find, if you can find them, you can then go to them and say, well, actually, if you're not a member, you can give them a say like a mail out just saying, do you want to become a member, reduce your fees, that sort of thing. Especially like with the event entrants, you can say that they can, if they're an event entrant, they get reduced costs for entries if they're a member. So you can do that and then just do a mail out with that. So you can then do that. You've got your sales. So this is where you can search on the screen for specific items. So if you've got, say like if you've got your corporate membership, you can search it. Find someone with a corporate membership or with anything. We can then find specific items, say like tickets. So let's see if we can find some tickets. General membership, I'm sure we can find something in here. So yeah, you can find all the information. You can do it between specific transaction dates as well. You can do accounts. You can find for people with accounts on their record. You can say like if they've got more than say like £5 on their record for memberships, that will then come back there of anyone outstanding for trade stands. So you can quickly and easily find anyone who's owing money and then you can just contact them. You can also do anyone who is backs enabled for say like memberships. So you can then see this person has got their backs for memberships. So it's quick, you can find quite a lot of information within the system quite quickly and easily. You've then got the school trails, where you can set up different school trails within the system. So you can set like for when the schools come in, you can then create those and then they can go and use those. And then you've also got your judges, sponsors and stewards. So if you want to go and find all your judges, you can then find them within the system, so set them on. So you can find the different judges, stewards. You can also search by specific headers. So you can search within headers, sections and classes. So if you've got a judge linked to that, you can search for them and bring those back. And then you've got your GDPR. This is where you can delete people's contacts. So if they've got a last transaction, if there's several years, if you want to create or clear everything down, say like from 3 years ago, you can say anyone who's got a specific transaction before a certain date, you can then remove those. And what we can go back, if we go reset filters, we can then go through and do quickly show you how to do a mail merge within the system. You can then go through and try and find, look for some members. Yeah, I'll find some members. I'll just do it. So we can find this contact and then you can do mail merge ticked items. And then for the mail merge, you've got different options. You can create a brand new Word document and then you can put your template, use that as your template. You can run an email merge. You can create it so it opens within your email application, or you can do it so it creates an email within here. So if we do an email one, you've then got the option to send whether to send it to people that have been opted out of emails. So this is say like a general purpose email, and you can say whether they're override your opt-outs, but generally we don't thingy. But if we do a search back, let's have a look. Do mail merge, because I've said I don't want to be contacted by email for admin purposes, it wouldn't let me do it. So if we do this now, save it, this should now let me, if we search that one again, you should be able to email. So do email merge, general one. This now lets me do the email merge because of the fact I hadn't opted into it before, but I have now, so I'll let you go through. You can then go through and either create or use one of the original email merge in there, or you can create a new template. So we can add a new template, and then within here, this is where you create your template name. You can say who it's coming from. You can have the subject of the email, and then you can type in here the email body, And then you've also got your tags. So if you want to say dear and then first name, you can drag and drop your tags in, and then you can type your email you want to send, and then you can send that out. You can send a test email, and then that will go out and double check that you're happy with it. You can make sure it's got all the information you need in it. You can send it as information like individual emails, or you can just do one email with in the BCC field. Got the different options, and you can also add attachments, and you can double check the recipients that it's going to be sent out to. And then just technical information just says the information regarding the where the emails are going to be sent from and your provider. So that's what we've got in there, and then you can just send out the email. You've also got the different options, creating your new Word template. So you can create a new Word template. So you can do browse, and then you can and say just want to go to your desktop. So you can create a new document, press OK, and then that will open the Word template. It will give you all the different email merge field options within the contacts manager. If you create one through either like your members trade stands, they'll give you the different options within there for your mail merge items. So if we go into here, straight away you've got all of your mail merge items you've got within the system. So you can create your template field, and then you can process through and do your letter, and you can merge it, send it out, and print it off, and then send it out to your customers. And then you can save that, and then you can use that again and again. So whichever module you're in, each one will have their own individual merge field. So if you're in the trade stands, that will then give you the details of the trade stand, like the sizes, stand name and everything. So you can create your own specific module letters to send out for the different information you need. So that's there. So you can do a lot of different mail merging within the system. You can quickly update your different types and groups. So if you want to add a lot of customers to one group, you can. They can do update types and groups. You can select all the people you want to add to a new type and group, go to the type and group tab, and then say, right, we want to add these people into all these types, add apply types and groups. So you can go, I'm going to add these in, press apply, and the system say, right, once you've done it, it can't be undone. And then straight away that person has now been added to these types and groups. You can also remove them. So if you have like a specific one for each year, you can take them out and then add them for the next year really quickly and simply. I think that is the general contact manager. You can also, like I said earlier, you can duplicate or you can merge contact records. You can quickly add contact records. So basically just go add, and then that'll bring up the blank field. So you can just fill out all the information. And within the system, straight away, when you open it, you can see the contact field, like a member, stand holder, entrant, and if they're linked to another contact. So you see a lot of information within this first screen. But yes, I think that's probably it. Does anybody have any questions? Anyone else got any questions? I think someone's got a question regarding the mail merges. I think at the minute you can link it with the Office 365, and you can also link it to just like your normal server-based, like on-premise email systems. It just depends. You basically just create the different information or put the different settings within the email settings, and then it will use both, because we've got Office 365 and that works fine with that. And we originally had the on-premise email provider, and then that worked fine as well. And does anyone else have any questions? If you do have any questions, just let us know. We can go through any bits and pieces you need. But if not, thank you very much for joining us, and I will see you hopefully for the next one for members and tickets at 9:45. Okay, thank you very much. Take care. Bye.